Mhm. All right, I think we're live. As we routine is, we're gonna fellowship for a little bit. So don't just we'll get started here in a few. I wish I could YouTube you or email you a chicken nugget, but don't think I can. So yeah.
Has a 3D printer.
Mm-hmm. Should be on. Should be on. You see it? It's live. It should be live. I don't see it yet though.
So my youngest granddaughter 6'6", and I got one 21 years. So
Okay.
yeah. How does your
No, I
little
don't see it
boy?
yet.
4. Wow.
Is it listed as public record?
Yep, it should be. You know what? Oh crap! You know what? I did. Let me go back. I think I may have did. There we go. All right, you see. Just can I get it up right quick? Yep, it's on. Yep. Let me put it down the text. Who you asking for? Who you asking? Oh, I'm putting it on the chat. Yeah. On the group me. Take you gotta take me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's up now. Yep. I just put it on there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hey, how you doing? It must be on the front row.
Look at Sierra.
Yeah, I know, man. Okay. Grab y'all something as well. I can see it. So I know you fine. Sis, how you doing? Good. Sis in daughter. Y'all grab it.
Yeah, we ain't gonna get out too much more. Yeah, that's it. About one more time, yeah.
Those who watching, we got about 5 more minutes, and we're gonna get started as we usually. Everybody's getting something to eat, and people showing up, and all those type things.
gonna go see Saturday Stomp at BBC.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
When is that?
Saturday. I guess it's a play. Stomp.
Well,
Production.
I heard it was really good.
Mhm.
I want to you still get tickets for it. But it's gonna be good.
I think so.
Yep. Maybe. Keisha, how was your day? Pretty good. Yeah, how was your day?
It has been very good and productive. There's still some more to do. I don't know here.
I think young folks say that's being on the grind.
Oh yeah, relentless.
No, you said the street. You gotta tell them. What's the truth?
I don't know.
Wrong thing.
Had to give my daughter a little
I'll be back in about a
motivation.
Mhm.
She's in the middle of her master's, got a difficult teacher
Oh.
right in the middle, and I said, "Well, you gonna get over it now. You don't for free, and it's always one." Yeah.
True.
So about the Harry. Those two younger. I'm old enough to be a father actually.
I'm his sister daughter.
Bonus dog.
Brother, yeah, brother also. Those are my biological.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mhm.
People probably think we're brothers now.
They get us confused all the time.
Yeah.
Twins.
Twins, yeah. So funny. Joshua's, I guess, was he's playing baseball for the minor leagues. So Joshua, maybe eight. So when his friends was white guy, white. Now, of course, Joshua higher than me.
Mhm.
White hair. Joshua was short. Friend was tall. Somebody told her, and him and Phil like, we just y'all can't just support King. I try to let my parents look and we know that and be like, no, y'all make sure, no, we can't. No, so be careful. I mean, it was 8 years. I mean, it was always serious. Like we twins. Yes. It's all. Everything else is taught by the right.
That's true.
Yeah, but it is. It's like, I mean, we all like, really? I mean, big difference in height. One white, one being the other kind of shit. I mean, but each other's apart. Yeah. Like this. Was the movie like it, man? Have
Twins.
yeah. Oh, was okay.
Hunter and Danny
DeVito.
DeVito.
Oh, yeah, it is. Sure.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, you telling the age.
We all live.
It's
not that old. I mean, I wouldn't have thought of it.
Wow.
next month for API Institute of Leadership and Development. Kitty gonna be this.
Okay. Kenny, I think he's making his transcripts.
You got him, but trying to.
Yep.
Mhm. Mhm.
Where to the bar? This one.
I didn't see that.
Oh, the children got a place to play there.
They turned my office into a daycare.
I gave them the rule. I don't know. They know the rules.
Right.
Yeah.
I know I like you all a lot for being allowed it to happen.
I know. I said they don't.
I want to invest in y'all. Right. I don't even do that for people. But you're worth it all. You're worth it all.
Thank you.
Oh, no, you're okay. So in Texas, Mika, Michigan, she takes me to Michigan. So what can I? You all right? Activity. I'm messing up, but
Just a long time.
That's one thing. You're running in a few days, right? No, I talked about. Have some funding coming in,
That's exactly what I was.
Williams the other day. I saw. I'll look him up. I probably do. He knows me.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
But I'll look him up. Okay. Right. Ladies, all right. Good evening.
Tuesday, isn't it?
Yep.
It's five. It's 5 Tuesday.
Yeah, there were two people. Yeah, it throws out. Yeah, easy, but it's 5. Yeah.
Because I was like, something right.
Yeah, it is 5 Tuesdays.
It'll happen again in July. I was like, why? Something. I saw 23rd, but it wasn't. It just wasn't. It'll happen again in July. I went back and was just like, okay. I'm gonna keep that in mind. I know. It's a leap year also. So
It throws everything out. Yeah, that's why.
The reason why?
That's why things like do off like a whole 2 days off. Yeah. On your calendar. So. Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
All right, so we're gonna get started, and those who are tuning in, I know some of you are in North Carolina, some of you are in Tennessee, some of you are in Atlanta area, and wherever else that you're tuning in, and probably down in Miami. But good to see you all tonight, and we have a treat tonight. We have a treat to introduce our guest tonight in just a minute. But a couple things, phone. I'm not prepared. Shout outs to some people who's part of our group. And by the way, for those who are new, we meet this happens every fourth day, every fourth Tuesday from 7 to 8:30. and this is for college age 39. We'll have a few of them to sneak in that's a little bit older, but we did start what we call the also for them. But I want to get a shout out as soon as I find this this yeah, I got it. Okay. This picture to Anika. So some Anika Evans, Dr. Anika Evans, who's part of the table, and she's watching actually from Atlanta on tonight. But shout out to her because she's just been not awarded, but promoted to the training program that she's gonna be doing training 7 HBCUs around the country, and gonna be special services for careers, opportunities, and leadership. So congratulations to you, Anika. Put y'all hand together for Anika. Simply awesome. And then our very own Zoe. Zoe, of course, is now executive master at the Connection, and then others with Vic. But she's also now is assistant of student affairs at Alabama A&M. So congrats to that. And before we know it, she'll be running it, so it's all good. And I'll be asking her for a job, but it's good. So hey, just want to encourage everybody, and what you're doing, keep going forward, keep doing what you got to do, no matter where you at. We're not here to be envious of anybody. We're here to celebrate one in our own space, okay? In our own spaces, okay? We have Andrea here tonight, and it's her first night, and she's the new the director of community development, Lily Plus Incorporated. So, so we welcome her from Birmingham, and the ham. So in the house. So good to have her. Well, I'm gonna introduce just do needs no introduction in our area, and his bio, his resume is extensive. He's done so many things. But he's Dr. Harry Hobbs from the U.S. Army in 2007, 9 years of military service. He then became the professor of military science of the JROTC program at Columbia High School in Huntsville, Alabama, from 2007 to 2000. In 2010, Dr. Hobbs was selected to be the communication relations officer for the Huntsville, Alabama Police Department until 2010. In 2011, Dr. Hobbs was selected to be a member of the 5th District Representatives Military Nomination Committee. He tell you what that is. It's pretty powerful. He served on the 5th District Military Academy Selection Committee for 10 years. Okay, founder of Community Awareness for Youth, Kathy, and they do a bunch of stuff every year, and everyone else will know about Kathy. He was selected as the Mentor of the Year by the 100 Black Nation in 2011. He was selected as the City of Mazarine of the Year 2012. In 2000, he was inducted into the U.S. Ordnance Corps Hall of Fame, the first systems warrant officer in the history of the Army. In 2014, he was presented the Madison County Annual Martin Luther King Award. In 2014, he was presented the Whitney M. Young Community Service from the Boy Scouts of America. In May 2016, he was presented the Zenith of Huntsville's Racial Harmony Award. In 2018, Dr. Hobbs and his family was chosen as a USA Huntsville Redstone Chapter Volunteer Family of the Year. Dr. selected received the Harriet Tubman 2020 Award for his outreach to the underdeserved communities in North Carolina. Dr. Harry Hobbs was inducted into the Army Warrant Officer Hall of Fame in 2020. This is all true, y'all. I'm not making it up. He accepted a nomination from Governor Kay Ivey to work on the council in 2021, and a recent 2-4 nomination from Governor Kay Ivey to be a member of the State Workforce Development Board. That's a good board to be part of. Mm-hmm. He is a board of Huntsville Bible College, historical Black college or university since 2002. He is also a board member for Leadership Huntsville since 2023. I am a Leadership Huntsville 30, best class ever. That's an inside joke. In 2023, Hobbs and his wife Erica co-authored their first book, "A Flawed Man's Plans in God's Hand." He is the president of employee engagement for Huntsville Utilities, which is almost $1 billion company here. He's a very influential man, but most of all, he's my friend. He's put your hands together for Dr. Harry Hall.
It's a little embarrassing when they read your whole bio. Hey, pleased to be here. I'm humbled to be here. I really am. And you know, when Doc asked me would I like to speak, of course I'd like to speak. And what do you want to present, Harry? You go ahead and do it the way you want to do it. I like to do it in. We'll have a Q&A at the end. But if you got a question, you know, I don't have a problem with that as well. Into the line. Oh, hey, and glad that you could tune in as well. You know, I got the seat at the table. Here's the table. Of course, I'm always thinking of Alexander Hamilton at the table.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I can't help but think, you know, in the wheel, the red table, but we're not there. Okay. It may seem like that in parts of my book, but anyway, I would like to talk about overcoming challenges. Could I maybe take a privilege here and not offend everybody? Hopefully, I know it's hard to not offend everybody in today's world, but I would think that people that maybe look like us, of color, and it could be people of Caucasian descent too. But there's some overcoming the challenges. Can I get an amen? Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna pass the plate and but you got some challenges that may just be unique to us sometimes. And you know, whenever I say that, people say, "What are you talking about, us?" For those, I told some as they were kind of trying to guess my slang and my ethnicity. I have a American mother and a white father, born in the Deep South on the Mason-Dixon line, and I've lived in between the races since 1960. When being multiracial, not cool. Okay, it was actually pretty dangerous, and kind of getting it from both sides in a full African American experience. But one thing that it taught me number one how to. And I can still run pretty fast. I run the Army 10 mile, and also taught me how to fight, not just lead, but how to fight. I was talking to this young man right here, how to get on your grind to make it. When you are given fortunate circumstances, and we all have circumstances, might be without a mother at home, abandoned by a father, grown up in poverty. A man out between two races. But the wonderful thing God did do for me, and I think He did for you all too, you were born in the USA. Am I right?
Yes,
you know, no. And not that the USA is perfect. EU, because I've been to several third world countries around this globe a couple of times by the grace of God. I will come back here with all of our drama every time. Because the chance here that you can actually make it on your merit. You can make it in most circumstances by the effort that you put into it. You know, I just kind of want to set that table a little bit as talk to you a little bit. And we was talking about his brother, and Doc Rock knows my brothers. My brother is probably just a little darker than you, my biological brother. Yep. So you know, you can never judge a book by its cover. you gotta open the book and read it. Okay, you gotta read it. But and the other thing that I do in this, and a lot of folks, they like for me to come and say, hey, talk to folks how successful you are, and you know, and I would just tell you. As I was doing that over and over again, I realized that I was painting a picture that wasn't completely filled out. Because it's easy, this bio, and he's first of color vice president, he's doing this, he's doing that, he was this and that, and not really realize what it took to get there. And so that's the part I want to talk about just a little bit. How did you get here? How did I get here? How do you expect to care? Everybody here, like Dr. Seuss, is trying to get there.
Right.
You know, and I would tell you, you made the right step tonight, not because I'm speaking, because you are seeking more information and more stories and vignettes and life lessons from maybe somebody that might be somewhere where you want to be one day. I mean, Doc Rock didn't become Doc Rock. Oh, he might have become overnight. I'm not for sure. He didn't get there overnight, and I guarantee you, he made some mistakes. I guarantee you. And my title of my book, my wife and I's book, I'm a flawed man. It was. Has anybody else had a messy life? But the good news, you can recover. I know I may speak from my spiritual base. I don't want to anybody that may have another faith group or a belief different from mine. I respect any faith group, but for me, my Judeo-Christian and Jesus Christ and the Trinity and God, that's where I'm speaking from, and just those challenges that you have to overcome, and whether it's having children before you're ready, whether it's a bad accident, or whether it was you as a victim of circumstances or unfortunate beginnings, we have to overcome that, and you have to dig deep within and your faith group and the people that you have allowed in your life sphere to things. And so those are the things that I kind of like to talk about. And we were talking about teaching, and I've been blessed enough. I've taught at every level in the world of academia, literally. Elementary school, high school, associate, bachelor's degree, PhD, online, in person. I don't tell you that to beat my chest at, because God could take someone in my circumstances to give them those gifts and pay it forward to other people. And by the way, my mother had a 6th grade education, and my grandmother had a third grade education, and raised by my maternal parents, who my grandfather 1900, my grandmother born 1910. So these were people that lived through the Great Depression. Is who raised me, and medical issues where she was never really in life, and I never met my father. And so you got to make decisions when you get these things in life. And the good news is you can make the best decisions by the most informed that you can be. And so I don't know where everybody else is in life right now, but you got to have a plan. You have a plan. And one of the things that I've done in my life, I've always been a planner. I've always been a dreamers in here. Any other dreamers? And if you keep dreaming and working, and it may sound like Hulk Hogan, say your prayers, eat your vegetables, treat people right, live by the golden rule. But that stuff works. It works. And he's corny. He must have been a Boy Scout. You're right, I was. By the way, Eagle Scout, first of color ever in my troop, and always make sure people understand that too, of color, because some people, they're looking, you need to know what you're getting here. It's a little bit of Oreo cookie, but but you got to understand that. Because that works for me. Because I used to be ashamed. Have you ever been ashamed of who you are and where you came, house you lived in, and clothes you wore? That I had all that working. I had all, and I kind of had to laugh at myself, as I was growing up and trying to consult a little bit. Had a great grandmother that was very liberal in her discipline. And she was very organized. We had about 15 people around the table. Any given night, extended family as well. My siblings and cousins and uncles and aunts, and everybody had a place. Everybody had a certain amount of food. Everybody had a job to do. And I thought I was like 13. I really did. I really did. Realize was the lessons that she was teaching me. I'm almost like Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi, wax on, wax off. Because me was a work ethic. And once I joined the military, it was on like a chicken bone. I get to eat 3 meals too. and I get my own bed and lock. I never had my own bed and lock. So sometimes it's those things that you go through that you think are breaking you, they're making you. I mean, it's really how you, it's how you process it. And I'm not trying to belittle anybody's walk, because you may have been in an abusive and very low poverty, low education, and all those things. But again, you were born in America, and that means something. Your information that the normal folks don't get, and you can learn about the American dream. And I think that's what we're all trying to do here. Is it not? We're striving to have that American dream. Oh, but I was going to tell you a real moment. Because I daydream. I looked at Army pictures all the time, and so I was an Army picture one time. I was 7 years. I said, I want to be a soldier, and you see me in pictures at 7 years old saluting, and then I saw another picture about Hawaii with a guy named Elvis, and he would match, and I told myself that's my motivator, is that I want to get to a place in life to where my clothes will match and fit, and maybe a little dippity do in my hair too, and I could get a nice car, and we say these things to ourselves, but they are things that motivate us. There are things that inspire us. And so a couple years ago, I was driving, and I kind of had a surreal moment, and I just realized, could I told myself, 15-year-old Harry, that I would be driving this car in these clothes, having this job, and having this influence. And I get emotional. Because anything that you work hard for, that's the other thing we need to do. You need to guard it. Because that's the other saying that happens. People work really, really hard. People from my community, they get in these successful positions, and then they feel, I'm above the law. I'm a VP. Here's my parking spot. I'm on the third floor in the corner office. Nothing against that, but it's how you carry yourself with that. If you carry yourself like you above everybody, like you can do no wrong for a fall. And Doc would tell you, any of the 800 employees I serve don't serve me, I serve them. The only reason I got a job is because they're there. They don't work for me, I work for them. And that's one of the first things I do when they come in that community for Huntsville Utilities. And I will pick up the trash. I will pick up the butts. I'll lock the door. I'll do guard duty. Whatever you need me to do, I'm gonna do. Because I'm a servant. And I understand when you go up the chain, maybe some things may not appropriate. Sometimes it don't hurt to get out there and get your.
That's right.
No matter what level. Right. Because that shows its appreciation for folks. And you got to engage folks where they're at. And in that community, with Huntsville Utilities, I was working with folks that go up a pole, get in the hole, just know 365, 24/7. These are, a lot of young men from the rural area, and go fishing, got a lot of rough. I said, okay. I was used to that a little bit. But their community was a little bit different. But I realized once I go out there with them at 4 a.m. morning or 6 a.m. in the morning, or the hole, or take them a little lunch, whatever, you build camaraderie. And those are the things that you do. You have to meet people where they're at, and be able to relate to them. And so But I wanted to put that a little bit. And my vehicle was education to get where I'm at, education. But also it was by the grace of God bringing people into my life, and me fervently having folks sponsor me, if you will, folks champion me, because you may think no one's looking at you, and maybe you have a lower level job at work or somewhere in the community, or you are volunteering somewhere, and I'm here to somebody's watching you. Somebody's watching you. Never get to the next job if you're not hitting a home run with the current job. Nothing wrong with always looking for the next, raise or the next job challenge, but there's a way to do that where you're at, so they can bless you when you leave. That's another thing. Several people asked me how to get all of these city jobs: spokesman for the utility, spokesman, the police department, VP over at the utility department, and I tease. Mayor Battle has hired me three times. He has. All of those are nominative positions that go through the city council and to the mayor. And I tell you that again to beat my chest, but it's to tell you that people were watching me, and my brand was honesty and integrity. I may not be the smoothest person on a press conference. Sometimes I think I'm the coolest, but I'm not the smoothest with the verbiage. I didn't learn fight draft. I didn't. I'm from Kentucky. But if you have an honest heart, and you don't working, and you maintain your integrity, it can take you places. It can take. But I will tell you this: my integrity has been challenged, and by this I mean I've had positions within the city where people wanted to coach my integrity and influence and my ability to communicate for wrong reasons, and you have to stand on that. You have to respectfully stand on that, and you will all get those challenges, even with the people that may even rate you or decide are you going to get promoted or not, or that we're talking about college professors, or that college professor make a name for themselves by being a tough woman or whatever. But you just have to be, and you have to work through it, because the alternative is getting upset, doing and saying things to the back. I always told myself when I came up against those things by the grace of God, and I became a Christian at I was 22. But when I came up things, I always told myself, I know the Lord's gonna get me through it, and in it, and one day I'm gonna be in that seat and I'll be different. I'll be at the table and it'll be different. I'm going by the grace of God, I want to do it in a kinder, more rational, a way that it shows more equity and fairness. Yeah, I'm not gonna drop the bar. Don't get me wrong. I was a TAC officer. I'll take you out and run you 10 miles right now. But I'm gonna be fair about it, and I'm gonna explain to you, if you're not reaching that bar, how to get to that bar, and give you the tips on how to do those things. At this point, I know I look like I'm 63. At this point, it's a privilege to be able to share with people your life lessons, to try to hand the baton out, to try to give you some, as we said in the military, some warning orders, so you don't have to go into that foxhole. Hey, danger, be careful of this. And so, those are the things we gotta maintain integrity. You roll over once, you roll over again. And even if you've lost it once, by the grace of God, you can maintain it. You can stand that day. And then we gotta be responsible for our actions. That's the other thing. So you may decide to get my book about some painful things that happened that were best for me, and how I had to accept that and then recover. And it's not an overnight recovery, okay? some things I will be recover life. But hey, you know that you do the crime, you gotta do the time. Goodness is that in my faith group, God will you. Some people may never forgive. You. But God will, and then you'll have to whatever that penance is. But I believe America is a place of second chance. Sometimes third, sometimes fourth. According on what you do. And encourage you on that, because what I find in communities that like mine that I grew up in is early in life there are boundaries put on us. With how we're spoken, with how we're getting into jobs, and nothing against laborers, jobs, or a blue collar job, nothing against it. My grandmother. She mopped floor bathrooms at house on the other side of Louisville, and if she didn't do that, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And my grandfather, he landscaping and did some masonry work. He built our home. I mean, you talk about a hero and a role model, and there's no shame in that. But because I stand on their shoulder, I had an opportunity to do something different. That doesn't mean that you hold out the community, or I'm not 100% or whatever it's day. No. Do we not want our children than us? Okay, if that's the case, what is the plan? Because my plan was to move my family from poverty to prosperity in one generation. And by the grace of God, through a whole lot of flaws, I think that goal is sight. But I would tell you, be careful of what you put on the altar to reach your goals in life. Because some things I had put up, such as relationships with my early in their childhood, trying to do corporate America, doing the army, going to night, coming to seminars at night. You got to balance all that. Because what good reach the finish line and you're standing alone. Woo, hallelujah. So I got some lessons learned on that. I just got emotional. Because life is emotional. It really is. It really is, because you put all that you can into it, because you get some type of returns, and sometimes we may not get the returns, but still we're getting more dividends, and we gotta stay on the grind. It just doesn't happen overnight. And another thing we get caught, these schemes to make money quick, and pyramid schemes, this, that, the other. And I would just tell folks, there's no way around. It just isn't. Whether it's hard work in the field, hard work, hard work at the factory line, it's hard work. It's hard. But I do think that you can rise above whatever your entry point is if you continue to some level of traditional and non education. Not everybody goes to college. Go to trade school. Go to seminars. Go online. Go to continuing ed. Here. Give back to the community. That's another thing. They don't actually ask me and Doc Rock to get on all these books. I mean, that's not by accident. I'm still, when put me on Huntsville Bible College, I was like, was that a mistake? I'm not gonna say anything. I mean, what a privilege. It have a name placard, so maybe I belong there. And those things are privileged because then you know what? Seat at the table. At the table. And at those, that's where you make decisions that drive people's future. And Doc had mentioned, I was on the military nomination committee, and I'm not going to get into any politics. I have Republicans, and I have worked for Democrats, and I will continue to do that, because I want to be the guy that they call in, that they trust my opinion, leave my politics to myself, get things done. But as I was on that group with Representative Mo Brooks, you may remember him from the insurrection, and one of the main ones getting gassed up a little bit. May not with everything Representative Mo Brooks did or said, but he put me on that board, and that gave me an opportunity to recommend several traditional people that elsewise would not have gotten a $250 scholarship to go to a major military academy. And you talk about emotional when you can somebody across the fence, and they were well. And I'm not saying that they weren't that demographic weren't getting these nominations, but I can tell you that they probably got a few more while I was there, because I could see things that couldn't. That group there affected me, and just so you know, on one side of me was Michael Durant, Black Hawk Down from Somalia. On the other side was a Medal of Honor winner, and I'm sitting in the middle. Have never went to any of those. That's a gratitude thing. You know. By the way, if you want the gratitude, no bad days. Yeah, hallelujah. But putting me in those positions to make people just consider other people. That goes a long way. And me a moment during our conferences where I can kind of communicate our culture a little bit. You know, we can't have these conversations. Who's gonna have them?
Right.
Good Lord. You know, while we're having these tough conversations, I'm an EI trained person from Cornell, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. You know, say again?
That's a Cornell.
Yes, sir. And being at the police academy, just so you know, I'm the guy that's taught everybody since 2008 how to de-escalate traffic stops. It's me. And what a privilege, because I get our police officers to understand cultural issues. And if you do this to this person, they may respond like. So if you don't have to do that, and you're not going to endanger yourself, why do that? The number one reason be to de-escalate, not escalate. And I just think police chiefs have allowed me to continue to have you and be able to communicate in a way that I hope has helped some young folks, not just young folks of color, young folks, period. Because I talk about generations as you too, because I'm a generations professor. You know, in this room here, we got about 3 generations, and I know I'm the only one in my digress.
Close.
Yeah, but we have to be communicate. We have to be able to understand each other and how we receive things, and that's important in today's world. Now I know I can ramble.
That's good. This is good.
Because I do a little. So let me open up a little bit. If anybody would like to raise a point, and tell folks in North Alabama, I'm Kevin Bacon. In North Alabama. If you want to know anything about the education system, the law enforcement, the UT system, Madison County of Huntsville. Might be the guy that can connect you with somebody. And I feel privileged because that gives me in my kit bag give you. By the way, I might know some folks at Redstone Arsenal too. They might have a picture hanging up on me.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Harry, back to the military appointments. What exactly did your committee do about? Because some people may not know the brevity of that and the influence that was for people of color.
Yes, sir.
Advance. Could you talk about that?
Sure. Every representative has a certain number of nominated major military academy.
U.S. representative.
Yes. Now, for Congress, and so, but normally they're in ROTC. Don't have to be, but normally they are, because they're going into a military, so they got military orientation. They have to have a certain ACT score, certain fitness, and then have several gradations and community service, playing athletic curriculum. All that increases their marketability to get one of these precious tickets, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a golden ticket. And so, but more the knowledge, because a lot of folks don't realize that's out there, and may down on the military. But for no, the military has been one of the biggest forerunners of civil rights. In 1948, there was a guy named Harry S. Truman. I'm Harry Hobbs, president that good Harry, in the Army, and gave people of color the ability to join the Army, have a even footing to go up to a 4-star general, and that was unheard of. It was forces, as you know, during the Civil War, and then was the WAC Corps, and then it was the colored units. It's great, age myself, the colored units. Yeah, and so now we are where we are today, and more people understand that this is an avenue to get a ride. Of course, you got a certain years, according on what you go in to get back. But if I had my way about it, every able-bodied man and woman would serve 2 to 3 years in your branch. That's just me. I think we appreciate America better if we serve. Nothing against anybody that doesn't serve, but I think that would bring America even closer. Because the wonderful thing about it, you bring folks from all over this great melting pot and basic training. And I remember when I went in 1978, staying alive, that I met of my good white friends from rural areas that had never seen people of color. I know what a mixed person was. I was mixed then.
Yeah, mixed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I mean mulatto, multicultural, Creole. Yeah. But yeah. And you can go on any website, military nomination committee. You can get a packet and you're working on it. And normally, but the thing, Doc, is people getting groomed early. Because that's the key to success. When you see a young person, somebody in the company, that hey, they got potential, I need grooming them early. And that's what we have to learn how to do, because normally people of color, 70s and 80s in the workspace, we didn't get that as much now. There are more opportunities. There's professional ways to do that. Just like it is grooming college students, there's professional ways as well. Because like anything, people have good intentions and then it goes awry. You got to stay professional. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I got a few questions, but y'all can stop me. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So I wanted to talk about something because it made me a little emotional, because something that I've realized over time. So somewhat background, I come from a single parent household.
Mhm.
Raised me.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I've noticed about myself when it comes to my career is that I always feel like I have to do something. Like I need to stand up. And last few years, I lost several people who were like super important in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it felt like every time that it would happen, I was saying, I thought I had time.
Right.
And so I'm always having this fight between be successful,
Gotcha.
put all your time towards that, but also your family. And so that was it's something that I'm trying to learn, but I don't know how to move around that situation.
Mhm.
And then that's one quick question, and then it kind of goes to the next question. But
Okay.
I don't really, or a statement, but I guess question is like, what was that? How did you overcome something like that? What was your mindset? What was your mentality to say, hey, work-life balance?
Well, true. I'm still working on it, and I got four grandkids, grown daughters, and I think one young lady. I have a 21-year-old granddaughter, 6-year-old granddaughter, 2 boys, 10 and 12, and daughters 30 and 42. And I don't know if I've ever gotten it exactly right, but I've been better at it every year. It is difficult because you have to be fine You have to have your game face on, but you want to spend time as well. You've got to do your SWOT. Strength, weakness, and threats. You got to do a SWOT analysis on you. Everybody knows what SWOT is. On where it is, you do the SWOT. You check a level. Okay, Grandpa's like my current bone dad's 95 years old. So I have to go see him every 6 months. That's pretty critical. 95, right? Okay. Now maybe if he was 60, 85, it wouldn't be as critical. So that's the SWOT that we did, and explain to your family, hey, I'm trying to break the mold here. I'm trying to go to the next level, because sometimes family make you feel guilty, and our children can make us really feel like we failed sometimes. On every standard is better than I'm doing better than what parents, God bless them, what they gave me, but we're doing, and look where your grandkids are. Oh, by the way, I just brought them back from Disney World. What you complaining about? So, but that's just something the individual has to deal with. There is no quick answer, but there's lessons learned, and you gotta learn. Okay, I pushed this one too far. I almost lost my. If you got a significant other spouse, they about me, because every time I'm every overtime, every college, you got to back off a little bit. You got to pray about it, and you got to have a plan. As I had mentioned earlier, Finder at Home that I've had almost 35 years is my plan. And I put it in God's hands. Even though I'm a flawed man, I had to rearrange that plan. But I pulled that book out, and it is such a for my kids and now my grandchildren, because I pull back the curtain on all the mistakes, on all the things that were things that were so. I mean, this is my legacy. Here it is. And so, but I know you're in love it. But I would just tell you to be kind, give yourself space, and you gotta have a team. Do you have a team, right? You still, I mean, a friend, partner, close girlfriend, what somebody close that you trust that can be honest with you, minister, whatever case may be, mentor at work. You gotta have that, because I came up with 4 essential discoveries, and you just gave me the great segue into these. All you truly have is yourself and those you love. That's number 1. I mean, that is it. And my second discovery was it takes a village to be successful. And sometimes villagers change based on what season you are. Sometimes you surpass that village, or that village surpasses you. And so bless each other, part ways. Sometimes that's even family members. They didn't hear. And maybe you to them later and love them from afar. Okay. And then also people are people. It's kindness. You don't have to be nasty. You don't have to be nasty. And although no bad day, although things are not going well, it does you no good to turn around nasty to other people. Even they feel I got you lied on me. I love what President Obama said. You go low, I'm going high. And that's hard to do when people do you wrong. Because I'm here. I don't care. People are going to lie on you. People are going to misjudge, and people are going to paint you out. Not. So here's what I want you to do. You just gotta get over it. I can't tell you how many times I walked into the break room, people, and I just kind of walk around them and get my, Diet Pepsi. Hey, how's everybody doing? Drive on. I'm not gonna run up there. Y'all stop talking about me. They don't control my pay. They don't control my parking. Only God, and I have a little to do with it, and the agencies put life, but God controls that. Yeah. And then also, I gotta learn to coexist in respect for one another, family, friends, and I gotta understand. Not always gonna agree. You know, me and my wife don't always agree. But I tell you what, by the time of sundown, we agree. Because I'm gonna let that go. Cause I'm having dinner or getting in bed with you. We all grown folks here. We'll be married 43 years next month. Get my girlfriend, and she is the same. God bless her. I know what she sees him, but I'm gonna keep on trying to pull this off. But yeah, those were my essential, discoveries that I realized. And then that led to 8 final truths that helped me in these things that you're talking about. And one for me, I had to realize God is real. It's supernatural. Explain it. It may just be a feeling to us, but I know without a shadow that God has spoke to me and He has saved my life from several horrendous things that happened to me in my life because I share this tip with you. I've had 40 operations, plastic surgery, got metal in and out my body, got a generator in my. Don't call me Frankenstein, call me Arnold. That's God. So I know He's real because I'm not supposed to be here. A lot of people I was with are not here. And by His grace, and I need to stand on that and be respectful to those that are gone by doing my best every day. Rising above your circumstances from God's agents. This is one of God's agents, right? This minister brother right here, and he is helping you as part of his function here. And you be ready to receive help. It may be in not criticism, but feedback you don't want. Trying to help you get to the next level. It reminds me of a joke where I was waiting for God to come get me. A boat came by, God came by. He was waiting for God's hand. No, you got to read the signals that God's given you. And sometimes God's going to send an agent that may not look like you, may not like you. And you may have been trained to think they're the enemy and they're trying to help you. So you got to be open. And then the other thing that you have to understand is persistent and consistent over time, because that will make up for your lack of privilege. I didn't have a golden spoon. I didn't have a trust fund, but my grandkids are going to have that by the grace of God. But one thing I did have was the spirit that God gave me, the work ethic, my grandkids, and not being able to take no for an answer. Not being able to take no for an answer. And as long as I can work, there's no retirement for me. No, it's another phase, but I'm going to, because it took too long to get here, and I'm finally at a place where I can help people. So I'm not giving this away too easy, because the next person may not look like me, be like me, or think like me. And I always tell young folks that are in the wing, until work me, stand down. And then also, number 4, my final truth: family, friends, finances, and fitness. Woo! It's got to be managed. Faith, family, friends, finances, and fitness. It's got to be managed. They are all important. They all have different priorities. You're a man of God. You're a woman of God. Don't forsake the joining together one in the church. Don't forsake offering. I'm just telling you, God got a storehouse that you can't handle when it starts opening. I mean, that stuff is real. It's real, And yeah, Dave Ramsey and handling your finance, all that stuff is good, but you got to do what works for your family, And some of the tough things, I had to make. I was learning. I had family members I probably gave too much to when I started doing a little bit better, and probably should have left family, but I felt I could help them. And so sometimes you learn those. Sometimes giving people money is not the answer. It's prayer, or buying them a sandwich. Don't whatever. But you find that with your faith in God. But you got to manage and work on your health and fitness. You get one body, and we got different body types. Not everybody's gonna look the same. Your health level for you and how your body type is different for me and my body. But do the best you can for you, because that's another sad thing in our community. Folks checking out too quick. You know. Number 5, watch the words, especially when you're angry, because words hurt for life. Words have of life and death. You know, when Big Mama would whoop me, that left. But some of the words I will never forget. And not that they, you know, too harsh, but they were encouraging. But whenever I let her down, you know, and Doc could tell you, I could tell you my grandmother on my cabinet and in me every day. Because I know she's proud of me. Because I wouldn't be without her. So words, especially with your children, even though they may have getting kicked out of school, doing drugs, the things that children do, they're still your babies. Find a way. You got to find a way to forgive. Find a way. Don't walk over you. But I mean, how you do it without God, you know, and let them put you in the poorhouse. Number 6, prayer. And God's word are the most powerful weapons you will ever have to succeed in life. You got to fasting and prayer. You got to get on your knees. You got to remember who's your maker. And you know, it's easy when the sun is shining. You're getting pay raises. You got car. You know, popping and popping when you walk in the office. Yeah, that may be some of the trappings of success, but don't get caught up in it. Don't get up in the hype, because all it is you do one mistake one day, because you know executives serve at the of the board. All it takes is one bad day. You know, I know we don't want no bad days, but all it takes that day, just so you're to that level. Oh boy, I want to get there. Well, you don't really know what it means to get there until you've worked and then respect it a little bit more. And here's the other one: always take the hard, the easy wrong. See it. Who's gonna know? Well, we know, and we know somebody's watching. You know, I tell folks all the time, you gotta be transparent. When I was with the police department, phone call was recorded. There was a camera in every room, and the only place in privacy was the restroom, I think. But you know, that's okay. I knew that. That's what I signed up for. You know, and I would tell young folks, it's probably not that bad at your workplace, but just if it was. You know, if that's gonna motivate you to say and do things the right way, because that's just the world that we live in. And then number 8, there's always a pay for success. The cost is not too high, and you have to do that. You have to determine, okay, do I want the doctor degree? Do I want to pay $5,000 to $80,000 and give up 3 to 5 and every weekend for the next 2 or 3 years? So I can be like Doc Rock, or maybe the master's is really all I need. And guess what? That's success for you.
That's right.
Maybe school is really all you need, and maybe that's success for you. You got to find out what your success is. Don't look at Cribs or MT. I'm dating myself. BET, you know, all of these things. You know, because I'll share this with you as well. And this is no hit. Family members, but my wife sung a song and got a Grammy. She's part of the Grammy. She was in a group called, and we can Google it before I leave here. It was with a group called Bone, and she was with the group Trey. She was the lead singer, and if you remember, 1996 TV, she was a Grammy, and that was one of the year. Here was the bad side of that. She got pregnant by Mr. Crazy Bone, and could not go on the road and had the baby, and then lost her spot in the group, and lost her livelihood and career. And the year she won the Grammy, she only got $50,000. She could have got that at McDonald's working every day. So backup plan, and she mixed pleasure and business. So that's my point. And then my cousin, Daryl Bishop, who's in Wikipedia, he was the first African American to play basketball for the University of Kentucky under Coach Rep. Also All American, SEC, and was drafted by the Bengals, and All American, several high schools, and I got a picture of me and him in the book here as well. People don't believe that until they see it. And he made it to the NFL and got involved in some various business and was in about a year. And these were people, God-given talent. He still holds exception in return yardage for UK today. His picture he's in the Hall of Fame at Hasker in Kentucky. But he had a moment of lapse of judgment, and that took his whole what could, and my niece woulda, coulda, shoulda. Some things at once. And I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to, that's life. You know, we have to be careful. As you know, 15 minutes to change your life forever, good or bad. And so, I know that was a lot. Thank you for, open up to any, hopefully I've somewhere asked a question in that. It's a privilege. People have poured into me, feel it's my job to try to pour into other people and to help other people if I can. And I feel privileged, and I'm humbled to do that. Subject to your questions.
If you could look back over your career and actually be one, and how would you be intentional diversifying your palette when it comes to your career?
I tell you, I couldn't, and I'm just gonna let y'all pass the book around to see the pictures in it. I don't know. Even if I look back on it, kind of like back to the future. I don't want to mess up what's happened. It was God things. I couldn't. How could I have planned this tree? You could not have told me 10 years ago I would be the first color in the history of an 83-year-old foundational company, $1 billion business. You couldn't have told me that. And so I think it was little bits of grace that are tied together to get you there. I mean, I joined the Army because I had any way out. Because when I made Eagle Scout, I'm pretty good at this. That's I wanted to eat. So, but I didn't have a plan B. It was plan A or bust. Then when I got married in front of the way, it's 3 bags full. They're right. And sometimes that can be a good thing. When you get so far, the Rubicon, in the middle of the river, there's no turning back. You got to forward and everything within, you got to put it on the line. So I don't know what I could have done looking back. I mean, yeah, I made some major mistakes. I probably was slipped out of here. Why are you doing that? But it all made me who I am now.
I got another question.
Yes, ma'am, Miss Ann.
So I admire how you talk about your walk with God throughout your entire life and throughout your entire career. Something that has always affected me is my insecurities. And so sometimes I feel like my insecurities can always be bigger than my.
Sure.
And something that I'm trying to unlearn because again, it's all a part of God's plans, and if you leave it in His hands, He's gonna figure it out.
That's right.
My question is, going throughout every adversity, going throughout everything that you overcome, what was the one thing that you, hey, I know this side, regardless of whatever was happening or whatever you felt in that moment, what made you say like,
Mhm.
Rufus, I'm trusting you
Mhm.
and your plan?
When I got my face, a military accident, and my had 3rd-degree burns on my face, and I was in the burn ward. That was the lowest moment of my life, because that engaged to get married, and the young lady that wanted to marry me could not go forth because of what happened. So you know when they say deep, and crushed me. That made me fall on my knees and repent, and ask God to help me, because there was nothing left. I felt there was nothing left. I mean, thoughts, possibly, a little suicide. There were some thoughts of this life ain't meant for me. Everything's me. I thought the army would work out. This horrible thing happened. But that was the thing. The most terrible thing was the best thing that happened to me, because through that process, as I was healing, I met my. While I was healing, and when I met my wife, she didn't let anything that was going on stop us, and so that's what turned my life around. Because then when I met her and was able to convince her to marry me as a high school student, that was the other piece that made me become the Christian man that I become. And I'm not saying you have to have another person for me, because she was able to those holes in my life of what I didn't get because absent mother, and my grandparents did the best they could, but she was the first person that filled that love quotient that we have, right? Yeah. But I wouldn't recommend anyone to find your significant other. I wouldn't stand in line for it, but it was one of the best things that ever happened to me, for sure.
She's an awesome, beautiful.
Shout out to Mrs. Hobbs.
Yeah, you see a picture of her in there. She's in there. She's a wonderful woman. And when we look back on it, she says, I don't even remember. She said that a bad sunburn. I said, no, I guess Cupid had hit you or something. Because it was pretty bad, buddy. I was in between. Anybody?
One more question. No.
Just on professional, do you have any tips and tricks for something that you've learned over the years?
Yeah. Be sincere. Don't try to become friends with somebody to jump on their. Doc and I had seen each other in the community for about a year or two. We were cordial. Hey, we saw each other moving in the community, but we had our own networks and everything. But one day, we just started talking a little. Hey, I see what you're doing. And it was mutual. It was mutual, because I've had people actually target me, and I'm sure where people actually go on Google. This guy has been in all these key positions. Go to LinkedIn and purposely befriend me, my influence. And the first time it happened to be someone in the church, and it kind of shocked me a little bit. It was very, and so, but normally God will give me discernment of folks and then cut slow on that. But how I've always networked is with sincerity. I meet people, we kind of share an icebreaker at Leadership Huntsville, at the mayor's get together. Okay, these major events, Rocket City Bash. I mean, you gotta have a face in the place. You gotta be there. You're not going to run up on these people in the supermarket friendship, you know. But how do I get there? You get there by progressively getting on the grind, getting these positions of high to where you might represent your company or an org where they send you to either one of the leadership Huntsville classes or to the equity course that the city does, the city engagement course that the city does. And there's other training opportunities out there where you can then meet these people and can show you are, and then it's you will know next, and you'll know if it's not connecting. It's because one of the Saints agents in my, you know this name is Rex Reynolds. He's a representative now. He's chief of police, former public works, former city administrator. He said a kind that got me on the police department because he and his friends me teaching high school. I guess I got discovered. I'm not a starlet, so I went at a drugstore in Hollywood. I was teaching high school in Research Park at Columbia High School, and there I was noticed teaching high school because the chief of police and somebody else that was there for a class day, and they came in my class and saw me enter young folks and said, I think he would be a good spokesman for the police department. That's how it happened. I got another recommendation from somebody to class because I was an adjunct professor at night to teach a class at A&M. Then taught a class at Calhoun. That was other seeds. And then one thing just kept building on the other, and I didn't do it for money. I did it for network. That will come. Build a dream. Build it. Say it together. They will come.
They will.
Okay. So you got to build it. It will come. I better get out of here.
Harry, Dr. Hobbs, he's a friend. I'm his mentor sometimes. He's to thank you mentor, but he mentor sometimes as well. We go back and forth on that. And Dr. Hobbs is a very humble person. Really is. He could have told you a lot of things about himself and what he's done. Great question. And I was trying to figure out. I'm gonna give one of his books away. Back there, $20. I think I'm in a little bit. Okay. I came right up front. We yes, when now and kind of encourage us to write this book. And it's really good. And he got some great things in it. And it's so fun because you can look at his family. And everybody in Harry looks a little different. even in the black and white photo. Yeah. And it's so funny because Harry's so authentic, and his wife Erica, Dr. Arjunal, we friends. We go out to eat together, things of this nature. But I remember first meeting, and then people talk, and I was trying to figure out, is he white or black? You're right. It was, and I'm like. Because when we look white, his hair pretty straight, ain't like mine. And then I started talking to him. I said, "Shoot, he black." but he's real, okay? And he's real, and that's the main thing. And even the question you asked Zoe about networking, be authentic. I know Rex Reynolds, great person. We all know him. He's over in the house, that kind of stuff. But genuine. Let me say this to you all. And I said, a black man, African American man, don't look for a certainty to sponsor you for anything.
Amen.
Just let God do it. I saw this, and Andre, I'm gonna give this book to you. I bought it from him. I paid him for it tonight. I'm gonna you read it. You read it, and you're gonna be blessed. It's
I'm
also
gonna play it right with my dad.
okay, good, right. Okay, great. It's a great book. You really like it. And let me say this to you, and how I know this. You know, either you read podcasts, audiobooks. I don't think I'm too, but nowadays is no audiobook now, book. But you need to learn, and not just your formal education, informal. Now let me say, I love and Dr. Hopkins, he's president, okay, for college,
Florida Institute of Technology.
Florida Technology. He was the president. Okay, it's so much I can tell you about. Yeah, okay. So formal education is powerful, but it will not get you to where you need.
Mm-hmm.
It was never intended for. It was intended to get you a job, but never for you to expire. You got the extra activities and learning. So encourage you. You got to read, listen to podcasts, come to things like you're doing. You're doing the right thing.
That's right.
And those who are doing the right thing, because that's important. But it only takes one person. And so let me say this to you. So as we run, I took one, Joe Newberry, who's the CEO president of Redstone Federal Credit Union, one of the largest credit in America. Joe's voted the number one bank in America two years ago. He received an award. I was calling in the tunnels, walking, answered my call. I call you back. I'm going to receive this award. I said, I'm sorry. He said, no, I wanted to take your call. In his office actually yesterday with another organization. He made one call and said, "You need to get this guy on the board of Huntsville Chamber." And that one call,
That's right.
almost 7 years ago, changed my life. Not a black, older white guy. Oh no, be my father, but he saw something in.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm trying to tell you is, do the right thing. I hope y'all took notes or in YouTube. You go back and look at it. But there's certain nuggets that he said do, and there's things you have to do. But no magic formula for your success. Everybody have a different road. Success lead clues, and we bring people in like Dr. Hobbs. Ask questions. Be prepared to ask questions. Take notes. Definitely take mental takes. All those type things. Because I'm be really honest with you. Like this fine gentleman, they don't come free. And all who come in here, they don't charge me. They're not charging me. He could have said, okay, doc, okay, I come. It's $20 though. It's $5,000 or whatever it is. But all of them coming. No, next month I'll be teaching following Milton Davis. Y'all know Milton Davis. Milton Davis, he's one of the most powerful black men in Alabama. Okay. The president of University of Alabama and Chancellor called on him for information. Go to America calls on him. Check it out. He said, Doc, I couldn't come out. He said, I'll be putting down for March 27th. And he said, tell Chuck, okay, I'm coming, and we're gonna have a coffee together. Now, Charles Carr, the president of University of Alabama, UAH, but he wasn't going to pay for his gas. But it's coming. Why? Because they want to invest in you. They want to invest in you. So this is so it is likely, and I'm trying to tell you, everybody can't do this. Privilege that we do, and we honor that we do it, and we bless that you're here. But please don't take this like you really missing it big time. So Dr. Hobbs, man, I appreciate you. We thank you. And it's an honor, and he's opened up doors for us. We do some stuff with him and his company, and it's really good. Okay, so you all be we got our group photo. So Dr. Hobbs, you get in the middle, and everybody please come up, and Dr. He gonna take our group photo. We're gonna move this to the side over here, and his book is $20, and hey, if I was you, got 20, I would invest. Dr. in the middle, yes sir, right here. Okay, everybody, side in.
Andrea, I got
y'all can come over on this side.
Y'all better act like y'all love each other, like we family.
they the plate. They want to they want to get up here. Some of the older people. Y'all are mentors.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Y'all mentors.
Senior support system. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Pan out so I can get it. Okay, I got several pictures. So
Hey, say that to y'all. Stop Dr. A in pictures.
So let's get in this.
She's like, oh, wait, what?
Come on, Audrey.
Oh, come
I may have lost some weight, but not quite.
All right. One, two, three. Old school. Y'all new people. Y'all don't say one, two. Y'all take pictures. like you got 5 of them, right?
It's so fun.
Those who are watching, sorry you can't never take the pictures with us. Anika, congratulations. All the rest of y'all on the Gabby, Brianna on, Kristen on, BJ on, whoever else is on, I missed. Okay, Mercedes on. I know you Mercedes on. I saw her. Lethea. Guys, y'all are awesome. You keep going forward. Hey, make me proud, but make God proud. Keep doing what you're doing. Brock, you join me at the top. See you later.